What's up, groovy guys and girls? My name is Faris. This is the Open Mat Podcast, and we were very second guest on our second episode. If you'd like to introduce yourself, guest.
Hi, my name is Dakota Zdun. I train at 10th Planet Palm Beach under Coach Doel Cortez.
All right, that's super exciting. And you're white belt, right?
Yeah. Super
exciting. And also, it is International Women's Day, so very fortunate to have a woman on the podcast, the first woman on the podcast on International Women's Day, which is super cool. I know you were planning to go to the Eddie Bravo seminar, which is now postponed. Unfortunate, but...
Honestly, I was supposed to be here like 2 hours ago, and I'm late to everything, so thank goodness.
Everybody else already drove out there, and you managed to be right on time with the podcast, and somehow it works out for the best. So we're super excited. If you're wondering what the smoke is, we're just burning some incense. My apartment smells better. I don't know. I just like good smells. But let's hear a little bit about you. Give us from birth to now. Give us the whole Dakota life story.
Oh my goodness.
I know, lots to talk about.
Yeah. Okay, well, so I was born in Canada, and everybody oh my God, I get a ton of jokes for being born in Canada, but I've lived in Florida like my whole life. My mom, she grew up pretty much in Canada. She's originally from Haiti. And then my dad, he's born and raised in Michigan. So he would just drive 20-25 minutes over the border, go party, go to the bars and whatnot, because I guess he had a fun time in Canada. And he met my mom there. They were just kind of seeing each other. It wasn't anything serious. So we were born there, and then we moved down to Florida, and the rest of my family came down to Florida, and I've been here pretty much ever since.
Oh, awesome.
From North Florida, St. Augustine area.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah.
So you said your mom and dad met in Canada or in...
Yeah, so they met in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so cool, man. Yeah. Wow, so you said, were you born in Canada or born in the United States?
No, I was born in Canada.
Okay.
So, yeah, from there, having to get my dual citizenship and whatnot.
What was that like?
Oh, my God.
A progress, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Process.
Oh, my God. That was a huge hassle just because, my mom was giving my dad, hard times of, not giving us, our original birth certificates and whatnot. So to get your original birth certificate, especially in another country, that's already a difficult process enough. Mm-hmm. So that was an issue. I had to pay for attorneys and whatnot to get.
What?
Yeah.
How old were you, if you don't mind me asking, when you had to start doing the attorney stuff?
I mean, that finally honestly, not too long ago, probably.
Really?
Yeah, because my dad got sole custody of my brother and I back in 2002, and he's from the States, so it was supposed to grant us automatic dual citizenship. He didn't finish doing the correct paperwork with the judge, trying to go back to get that paperwork with that judge. That judge passed away. It was a huge thing. Yeah, it was just this huge It's
how do you... That's just a gamble that you lost. That's so unlucky. What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it really sucked.
We're never gambling. We're out of the gambling scene. Not happening.
So yeah, that really sucked. I'm trying to think of how exactly so in college, mm-hmm. pretty much for me to get my education and whatnot. I had to get a scholarship, so...
Had to?
Well, I mean, unless I came from money or something.
Oh, I know, I see what you're saying, okay, yeah.
I can't get financial aid or anything like
what?
That. Everybody, told me, my whole life, well, technically, you're just considered, you're in limbo. You're kind of in the middle.
Oh, so my God.
There wasn't a definite, yes, this, or no. It's technically, you're supposed to have your dual citizenship. The paperwork was, incorrect and just Yeah, it was a huge,
Jeez. Oh, well, are we out of the period of life though for that now? So we're chilling.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Did you end up getting a scholarship for college?
Yeah.
For what?
So for lacrosse.
That's so bad. You played lacrosse?
Yeah.
Okay, that's badass.
That was fun. I kind of I don't know. I started playing in high school and realized like I really loved the sport. Mm-hmm. And then if I wanted to, I guess, further myself in life and to actually go to school, like I need to actually put in the time and the dedication to play to try to get a scholarship, you know, mm-hmm. for basically like a full ride.
Yeah.
And then like towards that time as well, I remember my coach, she had reached out and offered me like a scholarship to go play. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I was an asshole at the time, and I was just like, sorry.
No, you're good.
And I was like, unless I can go to school and I only have to pay for like my books, like I'm not going. And my dad's like, why would you say that to her? I'm like, I don't know, like
because it's true.
Yeah,
like you want me to lie? I don't know.
And then like didn't hear from her for like a week. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, well, it is what it is. Okay. And then I got like a message back from her, like an email, and it was like
strongly worded.
Yeah, like
okay.
It was an updated scholarship, and it was like, okay, so then here's like an extra $500 for books.
What?
To stay in the dorms and whatnot. Like you just have to sign electronically, and I was like, oh.
Oh yeah, talk about standing your ground over there.
Yeah, so I was like, I guess I'm going to West Palm.
Oh, that's badass.
So then I came down here, and I mean, I've been down here since. So.
Oh, okay, cool, super. Yeah, and then do you think lacrosse? So now I guess we'll kind of shift into jiu-jitsu. Do you think previously having done another sport, especially one that's contact related, is helping you with jiu-jitsu?
I would say like yes when it comes to like athleticism. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I can't talk.
It's okay.
But also it is. I don't know. It's a different like mindset and different pace.
Okay.
That's something I also have to remind myself as well. So yeah, like I feel like with jiu-jitsu, I have to be more relaxed.
Really?
Yeah. Like
okay.
I really need to like calm my nerves and to actually think.
Mm-hmm.
Where I feel like lacrosse, it's so much like adrenaline. You're constantly sprinting like up and down the field. Like you're doing certain movements. Like your head's just constantly on a swivel, which I know like for jiu-jitsu as well. Like you know.
Yeah. Spatial awareness is important, but it's not crucial.
Yeah, but I did realize like I have to change like the tempo completely, like if I want to actually, you know,
compete.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's a very interesting standpoint. I would think so I always make this argument, and I guess that kind of leans into what I was saying is I think girls jiu-jitsu is different than guys jiu-jitsu. I think girls are way more strategy focused and they have way more like technique early on, and guys have a lot more like a white belt girl is more like a purple belt guy with technique. Because girls, you know, for guys, like I can just push my hand into somebody's face like really hard for like 30 minutes and pray that I win. But with girls, it's a little more like, you know, people gas out faster or something. I don't know. But that's where I would think that the sport's just a little bit different. So how do you feel when you roll with guys versus rolling with girls? Is it, if it's any different at all? I could just be blowing smoke out my ass.
I mean, I feel like it is just to like a certain extent. Mm-hmm. And honestly, like what I mean by that is like just weight wise, and then also just strength. Like,
yeah, it's
so much different when someone like lays their body weight on top of me. Like I can literally feel my whole back just crack. And I'm like,
oh, yeah.
And that honestly, like, and I do like rolling with the guys a lot too because it also makes me work on, you know, technique more rather than strength too. Like, of like, okay, like I really need to actually think of, you know, how I'm gonna get out of this situation. Mm-hmm. So yeah, with that, also like just kind of controlling like. I don't know, I guess you would say like your emotions in a way. Just because I can get like a little into my head when I'm rolling. Yeah. And then when I do that, like I'm not paying attention as much to my technique.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of why like with jiu-jitsu, it's like I need to come in with like a clear headspace, like nothing on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And when I walk into the dojo, that's what honestly I love so much about it, because like my head, it's like it's going 100
Every
miles an hour.
anxiety, I just dump it out. I'm like, I don't need it. You know,
Yeah,
for
like
jiu-jitsu, you don't
I'm
have
thinking
to.
about anything that's going on. It's like as soon as I walk in there, it's like nothing
Now I'm
else
thinking about
matters.
technique.
Yeah,
you know,
literally.
like
And I love
it's a good
that
feeling.
so much.
Oh yeah, jiu-jitsu's great for that. You've competed twice now.
Yeah.
Once in main stage, so like once finishers, right? And then once in the in-house. Did you notice a difference between the two at all, or within yourself, competitive wise?
I would say definitely going into finishers, I was a little more relaxed.
Really?
Because the first time, like I literally was like shaking the first time. Like I was so nervous.
First time's
like,
always luck. It's always
yeah,
luck.
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then the second time, I felt, like my nerves were a little more calm. I was still a little like on edge a bit, but definitely a little more relaxed. Still, not the outcome that I wanted.
You won.
Yeah, but
all of your matches. You're undefeated, Dakota.
I mean, yeah, like that still makes me happy, but it's like I had a game plan going in.
I understand the feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, and then having, letting my thoughts and emotions getting in the way of, well, actually, what if she does this? What if she does that? What if she does this? Like, I need to know, like, okay, if she does this, I'm going to do this. If she's going to do that, I'm going to do this. Rather than getting into my own head, overthinking these little things, just going into the game plan of, like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Like, this is my game. Like, this is how I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
So that's something I definitely need to focus on, as well as, like, everybody else can see what's going on, during the match. So
Yeah,
my coaches
yeah.
are telling me to do something, like...
You were really good at listening to the finishers. You were listening to, like, everything people were telling you. Like, get the hook in, and then you got the hook in.
There's one point I remember Doel saying, like, all right, like, I'm just going to stop. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, fuck. Okay,
come on, coach, please.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. But they were definitely, like, it was very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, when I first signed up, I had zero intention of competing.
Really?
I didn't want to compete or anything. I was just going to do it for fun, like, a couple days a week.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What made you jump the hurdle to come and compete?
Just like the energy, like seeing everybody, how excited they are. Honestly, like Anne was like a big factor of everything.
Really? I always wonder how she influences the females in the class, because she's high level, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, like when I met Anne, I met her back at my old job when I worked at Stretch Zone.
Oh, okay.
And they had just moved down here and stuff. So when she was telling me, like where she came from and everything, and told me like how much she loved jiu-jitsu. And that's the first time where it like really caught my attention, just because like I love talking to people about something that they're very like passionate about, even if I know like nothing about it. Just I don't like I know that sounds weird, but
no, I get it.
like,
I love listening to people. You can hear somebody smiling in their tone when they're talking.
Yeah,
about this.
and just seeing like how someone's face lights up when they're talking about something. It's like, I may not know that much. I may not know that much about a topic, but just, getting to learn more and seeing how happy it makes that person, like, I'm definitely open to hear all about, about that. So when she was telling me all about jiu-jitsu and whatnot, and, like, how she met Doel and everything, and just her whole journey throughout that, it just really, like, I thought it was so exciting and just fascinating.
Yeah.
I, like, loved it. So then, she was just filling me in along, like, their whole... just like process when they were at the first dojo. I actually went for like the grand opening.
What?
Yeah.
I never get to see the
my
first
God.
dojo, the karate school.
Yeah. So I went there. I brought my brother's girlfriend and one of our friends who also worked with us at Stretch Zone. So we were there for the grand opening. I only went for like a couple days, like in the very beginning. But I was like, my whole plan was I was leaving Stretch Zone and transitioning into just changing career paths. Okay. And I just had like a lot going on at the time. So I just had to put it on the back burner and told her like, yeah, no, I want to come back to it. I just, this, and this. And there was always just like one thing after another. I got my dog. At the time he was a puppy. So
okay.
so I needed to like make him a first priority as well, training wise and whatnot. Had a few like just like toxic relationships that I was just dealing with that once I kind of got out of that and I could go back to doing like what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it was, but like I would just
Was that early college for you?
No, this is like after college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then just like I don't know what it was. Like I just like I thought about it like here and there. Like I would text Dan like here and there about it, but like I just wasn't fully committing to coming in. I was like, you know what? Like what's so bad about just taking 2 days out of the week, maybe 3 days out of the week for an hour to just go and, you know, have fun, like do something active. Yeah. So finally I was like, okay, like I'm just going to say, screw it, just do it. Like once I pay for it and everything, like I'm going to go. So then that's what happened in August. Literally, like it took like a year later to come back.
But you weren't ready yet. You weren't ready in your heart yet. You know, you gotta.
Yeah. And then like I would come like 3 days a week for like just the one class. Yeah. And then kind of from there, it was just like, wow, this is actually like really fun.
It's a good time.
Yeah. And then now I go like 5 days a week. And I'm there for hours.
Yes. We're converted fully.
So that was pretty awesome.
It is like a cult, 10th Planet cult. I love it, man. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna get you to come eventually, and then you come and it's like, oh my god, I can't leave, you know?
No, literally, like
it's crazy.
I used to be like obsessed with lacrosse, and like in college, like I did get burnt out from it, and I still love lacrosse, but it's not the same, especially like after my knee injury and stuff. Like I know I
didn't know you had a knee injury.
Oh yeah, I had an unhappy triad. So I tore my ACL, my MCL,
oh my
meniscus, all at once. Yeah, so that was something that made me nervous too about doing this, was like the fear of like, what if I hurt myself again? Like I know I can't move a certain way on this side compared to my other side, and just honestly, it's just like a lot of head trash. Like once you start like working and focusing on like building the muscle around that injury and just your mobility. Like, it's honest. Yeah, it's just head trash.
I've never broken a bone or torn a muscle to this day.
That's
nice. If 4 years in the Marine Corps, I didn't do it.
Really?
How crazy is that?
That's insane.
Yeah, I know. I had a long period of time. Didn't break, didn't tear, never got hurt. Awesome. Yeah, I don't know if I was just lucky or just took good care of myself, but I definitely didn't take good care of myself. I was big. I was a big boy in the Marine Corps. No, but that's impressive that you were able to transfer from lacrosse, go through an injury, and then push yourself to come into the world of jiu-jitsu. And then fully just like now you're like integrated, which is awesome. You said something earlier when you were talking about competition, which was you were happy that you won, but you were disappointed in your performance.
Yeah.
I tried to say that to coach because I felt the same way in my second in-house. Because I was like, I mean, no offense to my competitors if you're watching. It was so easy, or it was easier for me to win. And I'm like, I felt like I was sandbagging almost, you know? Mm-hmm. And then the fact that it was like, great, I got an Americana. Like, that was what it felt like, you know? I was like, I won. It's kind of the feeling, you know? And then when you win in EBI overtime, you're like, great, I didn't get a submission. Yeah. Is that the relatable feeling that I'm...
No, yeah, okay. Totally. Like, I totally understand that because, like, again, like, if you have a certain game plan in mind and then it doesn't go the way you want, even though you do get the win, it's like, you know, like, well, I've been training and practicing because I wanted to go out there and say, like, hey, I'm going to do this, this, and this. Yeah. And I'm going to execute it. Yeah. And you let other little, like, obstacles get in the way, which, you know, I know that tends to happen when you're competing, when you're rolling, but, like, still to get yourself back to that plan and to execute it all the way correctly, like, I feel like that's just, like, that's the bigger goal. I don't know. I know that's weird.
No, I get it. I totally get it, yeah. Yeah. That's very understandable because I feel the same way. I'm like, I want to finish a leg lock in competition. It's never going to happen because I'm a topside pin guy. Like, I'm big and I need to lay on people to gas them out, right? So for people like Dennis, his whole game is like, I'm lanky, I can fall into a, you know, ankle lock. But for guys who are like big, it's kind of like, that's just not my game, you know? You can make it your game, but it's going to take a long time. A lot of like pushing that little note right there to get where you want to be with it. But how do you feel about, because I love Jake, just so you know, he's fucking great. How do you feel about him? Do you think it's cool that, like, well, not cool, I guess is the word, but like interesting that Coach Doel would take on a coach from an outside gym and put him in our gym?
Oh my God, yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Think it's really cool.
Because a lot of people don't do that, right? Like, from my understanding. I don't know personally, but...
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I still feel like I'm kind of, like, new to this whole world.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So, well, how long have you been doing it for? Because I've only been doing it for, like, 8 months.
Well, yeah, but I just, like, I don't know. Right now, I'm, like, trying to get more into the whole, just, like, watching more, like, jiu-jitsu. Because I don't watch a lot of TV to begin with and stuff. So, like, I don't really know that much about it besides, like, you know...
When people start talking about fights and I sit there with my hands folded.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's cool. Like, okay,
yeah.
I guess
I can
start, like, you know.
be relatable, I think.
Yeah, exactly. But no, like, him bringing on Jake to the dojo, I think that was really cool. You get, you know, just... a different pace to a different tempo on Thursdays as well.
Yeah.
So it's nice to you know, work on stuff like that, especially like just a lot of takedowns too, because I've realized, like, as much as, like, I obviously, like, don't want to pull guard, I've noticed, like, in the comps, like,
yes. Yeah, I get it.
2 out of the 3 I did pull guard because I couldn't take the person down. So it's like,
yeah,
okay, cool. Like, that's not what I want to execute.
And it sucks on both ends when you pull guard, because A, you're like, shit, I couldn't get the takedown. But B, then there's the part that people don't see, which is like, I didn't get the takedown because this person is so stiff and not doing anything that I have to give up a position of advantage so that I can do something in this match.
Yeah.
Which I'm noticing very frequently in the competitive matches, is that people just lock up and don't do anything. And I'm like, please just throw me or something.
Yeah, no, seriously. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but he said he's a judo brown belt. So I guess brown or black, I can't remember. But so his takedowns are really good. And that's fun to see him do some of the transitions. Like that, what we learned yesterday was super fun.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, it was, honestly, it was a lot of fun. I always feel like when I come in, it takes me a little minute to, just for it to all click, I gotta just, like, gather myself. Like, okay, all right.
Never ever will I get the first move, ever.
Yeah, and then as soon as it's like, oh.
I'm doing jiu-jitsu, that's right.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's right. Forgot why I was here.
Yeah.
And then, you know, after that, then it's just smooth. And then also I love how we always do, like, King of the Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Just because you get to roll with just everyone, like, different type of body types and whatnot, too. And, like, I know a majority of the people who are training are guys as well. So, like, rolling with different people, like, I mean... We've rolled, like, maybe a couple times.
3 times, like, max.
Yeah, so I think that's cool, too, because, you know, otherwise when we're, like, looking for a partner to roll with, it's not like...
I'm going to go roll the guy.
Yeah, just like, where are the girls?
Yeah, where's the 3 other girls?
Who else should I...
Yeah.
Literally, so...
Does that ever bother you that there's not... I mean, obviously we want more people in jiu-jitsu, especially female, right? Because there's not enough. But are you ever like... did it upset you that you had to roll with the same person at competition twice?
Yes and no. Yes, because it's like, well, yeah, I want to roll with someone different. Like, I want to challenge myself. I want to see if, you know, what they're going to come at me with, to see if, you know, I really have everything that I've been practicing down and my technique down compared to... okay, it's like the same person. I kind of know an idea of like how she rolls and what I need to focus more so on. And then also my whole thing was like redemption. I can like get my sub and I didn't get it. So I was like even more pissed off because I was like, I did the same thing again. Like, and yeah, it was so frustrating. I was still very happy because I was like, well, a win is a win. It's just not, you know, the way I wanted it to go. So
yeah. Do you think the weight differences, like, so in guys, for example, if I roll with somebody who's 25 pounds heavier than me, it's a massive 25. It like feels like a crazy 25 pounds. Do you think it's that significant for girls too? I'm just curious.
I mean, I feel like yes, because well, this is gonna sound weird too. Because like rolling with like the guys a lot as well. It's like they're already so much stronger. Like scientifically, like males are stronger than females. Like
it's not fair.
Debate. Yeah, like, there's no debate about that. So like having to work on the technique, whereas like then if I'm rolling with the guys a lot and I'm rolling with girls, and like if I really can't get out of something, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna try to really do one hard buck to get them off me. And so like I guess in that aspect is like trying to focus more so on technique as well, and not, like, okay, well, if I can just do this one explosive move to get myself in a better placement, which I know, like, when it comes down to competitions as well, like if I'm really in a shitty place, like I can still do that, but I would much rather focus on like my technique. If they're doing something that I'm not familiar with as well, like I try not to stop it like in the middle. I try to like let the roll happen, and then I'm like, okay, let me remember that, and then like I'll pull Raquel to the side, or Ann or Lexi or someone, and say like, hey, like, what you just did there, what was that? Like, can you teach me? So because I mean they've been rolling like longer than I have.
Has Lexi been rolling longer than you? I don't know the difference in time for the girls.
I can't remember what time she said exactly that she started. But I know she was there before I was.
Okay.
I think maybe 2 weeks in, I had gone to the new breed. Or no, I think 2 weeks in, I had gone to the Boogie seminar. That was when Boogie was there.
God,
and I was
he's
like,
so cool.
Yeah,
he's such a cool dude.
He's really awesome. But when I was there, like, people were asking, like, oh, how long have you been rolling for? And I'm like, 2 weeks. Like, I know nothing. And then afterwards, there was new breed. And then I know, like, Lexi and Raquel were competing in that. And I didn't really, like, know anyone still at the time. Yeah. So it was still, like, really cool to watch them and everything. But I was like, oh, my God, like, I can't wait to start, like, training with them. Start
getting a little antsy.
Like, learning from them as well. So
yeah.
It's really cool.
That's super exciting. First of all, Boogie is absolutely my favorite seminar so far. I just like his... I don't know, like his aesthetic, I guess is the word. Like as a person, seems really cool. Like he's like, oh yeah, I was just like a pro break dancer with my brother, and now we're both black belts in jiu-jitsu. It's
like
what?
Honestly, and his just like the energy and the vibe that he brings too. Like I just feel like he's like very down to earth and just a chill,
absolutely
like, nice soul.
Yeah.
And then also like his rash guards. I have the Halloween one, and then the new one that they had dropped. The circus, it's like a circus theme. I'm obsessed with like all of that stuff too. I'm like, they have like awesome energy and awesome vibes over there.
Why are they so cool?
Yeah, and then when we went to Vegas and we watched him compete, in Nogi.
Oh, you guys did go to Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that was
really cool. That was awesome. Oh my God. That was a really cool
Tell
experience.
us some stories, man. I need to hear what it was like, because I didn't go to that.
Well, goodness. That was just like, it was my first time on the West Coast too.
What?
So yeah. So never been on the West Coast, so like traveling all the way over there for the first time, just seeing like, I don't know, just the landscape as well.
It's so pretty. It's so pretty.
I was like
it is,
in the car, like looking around, like, holy shit.
If I had a Microsoft Windows wallpaper, what's going on?
And I'm like, where's the grass? Like, there's no fucking grass. Like, there's like 2 plants at every corner. Maybe that's it. Like, everything else is dead. Like, what is going on? It was so weird. And then when everybody kept saying, like, it's so dry there, I was like, what do you mean?
What does that mean?
Dry?
Yeah.
And then I got there and I was like, it's dry. Yeah. Like, it's really dry.
Like, wait, is this what air feels like everywhere else?
Yeah, like literally. Oh my God. Like, I mean, I love SpongeBob, the old episodes of SpongeBob when he's like out of water. Yeah. That's how I felt. I was like, holy shit.
Every time somebody goes there for the first time, it's like you drink like 30% more water. Yeah. It's crazy. You're like, I just need to start chugging water. I don't know what's wrong. I just gotta start drinking water.
Yeah. But going to the Vegas location as well, it was so cool. There's like a ton of people on the mats. Like just seeing like, I I know this sounds weird, but just like sitting there and just like watching other people roll too. Like even if like I got rolls in as well, but like there's times where I was just like, wait, I just like want to just
watch, yeah,
and see how some of all of like everybody rolls. I don't know, like watching like Andy as well rolling, like that was cool. That was very different. I honestly, when I got there, like Devin and Ann and Doel, they're like pointing out like, oh, this is this person, this is this person. I'm like,
I don't know if that matters to me.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, I'll look them up later and stuff and learn more about them, but I really don't know. But like that also, that like just made me more open and wanting to learn and explore more about just like the world of jiu-jitsu.
Were there a lot of girls there too, like for jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, cool.
There was more girls to roll with as well, so that was really cool. I mean, I still felt like, I don't know, comparing back to like December to now, like I've learned so much more.
Okay.
It's like,
you feel like you could beat yourself up?
Yeah. Like, I'm like, how well was I rolling then compared to now? I don't know. Like I always think about that stuff too. But like it was so cool. We went to a couple different dojos as well. Just like, I don't know, when Ann and Joel would tell like different stories of people from back at Vegas, and then when you got to put the faces.
That's
oh my
I didn't
god!
even think about that.
Wow, this is awesome. Which I'm terrible with names, so like,
me too.
Once the names pop up again, and they're like, "Oh, do you remember so and so?" I'm like, "Wait a minute, now I do." Yeah.
Remind me something about them, and I'll tell you exactly who it is.
Literally. Oh my god! But everybody there was like super nice as well. It was just honestly like good energy, good vibes.
Cool.
Like I feel like, I mean, I haven't been to a ton of different 10th Planet locations, but like even when I went to the Jacksonville location, like Brian over there, the head coach, like such a chill dude,
really
super nice. He has his dog there as well, like he has a little lead, and he just like hangs out. When I first walked in, like I had no idea there was a dog in there until I heard like a little jingle.
That's what Miami was like too. They brought a dog into
my
a little tiny dog.
Oh my god! See, I thought that was so cool. But like everybody's so friendly, like any location you go to, and so welcoming.
I really like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially coming out of a community that was like in the Marine Corps, coming into this community, I was like a little worried because God, the Marine Corps is like the embodiment of toxic masculinity. So don't get me started on that. But besides that, coming into like jiu-jitsu and stuff, it's like even if there is somebody who has that like vibe of like, I'll kick everybody in the room's ass, and they're like, angry or like full of toxicity, you're like, okay, prove it, and that's it, right? Then
yeah,
like, I guess you're right, or no, you can't, Yeah,
like the ego. If you do have an ego, like
shut down get quick.
Yeah, exactly. But how was like the transition for you from, going from that, like living that lifestyle, to when you first started jiu-jitsu?
Ooh, interesting question. Yeah, I like answering these personal questions because people don't know a lot about their podcast hosts. So it's a good way, when people ask questions, a good way to get out there and talk about it. So for me, when I was in the Marine Corps, I went to a program called Skill Bridge for executive protection. And that's when I found my friend Jacob Day, who was a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. He still is a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. He tore his meniscus and he's not able to roll. I think he messed up both of his knees, and he just got double knee surgery. So he's out for a little bit more, but he's recovering well. So he's good. Yeah, he's doing better. But for me, I go to the Skill Bridge program, and I'm like training, and we're doing all this training. They're like, okay, we're gonna do like a martial arts portion. It was like a week, right? And I am just like I have never been a person to like throw hands or like do any like crazy fighting stuff. Even though I was in the Marine Corps, I don't like getting hit in the face, so I don't hit people, pretty much, right? So I'm like out there, and they're like, we're just gonna do grappling. And I'm like, okay, cool. I've done grappling before. You're in the Marine Corps, you fight people, you wrestle all the time. So I'm getting like just destroyed by dudes who are like 40, 50 pounds less than me and have just like a little knowledge of martial arts. And Jacob, my buddy who I was talking about, he's about the same weight as me at the time. I think maybe 5 pounds less. And he's like, let's go, Faris, I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm like, no, you're not gonna beat me up. And it was like, he's like, I'm going to turn you into a baby. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. What the fuck are you talking about? And I have never felt so demasculated. He just held me like a child for like 10 minutes. And I was like, I couldn't do anything. So I was like, okay, maybe for the sake of my career in executive protection, you know, the job that I do, maybe I should take some time and like go into the world of martial arts and, you know, find something that suits my body type and my, like, you know, the urge to, because you can't protect other people if you can't even protect yourself. Yeah. Which is a good, I think it's a positive mentality to have. So I went back to base, and he introduced me to my first ever coach, Coach Rusty, who was rolling gi at the time. But I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter. If he's a gi brown belt and you're a no gi, he'll still destroy you. So my first ever day, I was rolling with a girl whose name I can't remember, who is a purple belt, and she kicked my ass. She absolutely destroyed me. I must have sat in 100 head and arm chokes that day from mount, and I was like 60 pounds heavier than her. And I was like, what in the hell? Like, you know, so I'm like, what am I doing? So that's where my love for jiu-jitsu really started, was in the Marine Corps towards the end of my career. And then I got out, and I, you know, started my job out here in Jupiter, Florida, my executive protection job. And I was like, I need to go find a place where I can, like, because when you're transitioning out of the Marine Corps, one of the things they really don't tell you, and they don't really want to say, is that for these years that you've been in, even if it's only 4 years, even if you've never seen combat, you're being trained to exert violence on another human being, whether it's, you know, like anybody. It's just like, whether you use it or not, here it is, you have it now, right? So now I'm spending all this time trying to find a way to, like, channel this energy that I was able to exert before, but now I can't. There's no outlet. I can't go shoot a rifle on a live fire range and, like, run and gun and do, like, cool shit, you know? So now I'm, like, sitting in my apartment playing video games for 8 hours a day and then going to work and sitting at a desk for the other 8. Not healthy, right? So I was like, I got to start looking for jiu-jitsu places because I love doing jiu-jitsu, and I did it, right? So I first found no offense, I first found a Gracie school. I don't remember the name of the place, and I wouldn't want to name it anyway. It's in Jupiter, and I went there, and it was mostly gi. But I was like, hey, like, what's the rules? Like, can I roll with your guys? Like, that's kind of how I, you know, that's like my meditation. That's how I get energy out and stuff. I didn't know it at the time. I'll get into that a little later, but I was trying to exert this like I want to fight. Like, I need to, like, get this out of me somehow. So I'm, like, out there trying to do stuff, and, like, my first day, I like they're like, no, you can't roll until you get blue belt. I'm like, what? First of all,
fuck that.
First of all,
oh my God.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Second of all, I, like, tapped out 3 of their blue belts in the first day, so I was like, I'm not staying here, right? But it does make sense though, because they're used to guys with, like, self-control, not like Marines who had been trained. Because when I got out of the Marine Corps, I had been training for like 2 months, like a little bit. So I did have, like, a baseline. And what Coach Rusty was really good at was he was really good at teaching fundamentals. So that's why I feel like, fortunately, in our dojo, I have a little bit of a lead on some of the guys, because I was just drilled fundamentals for my first 2 months in the Marine Corps by a Marine. So there's, like, really cool. No room for error, you know? Yeah. And it's like, if you do error, here's 100 push-ups, good luck, you know? Or something like that. Go run around the block, you know? Yeah. So, yeah, he was really good at drilling fundamentals. But I was like, okay, this isn't working. Let's go find another school. So I texted my buddy Jake, and I'm like, here's what, because I don't know anything about jiu-jitsu. So I texted him, I'm like, here's what they're doing. Here's like what they're about. And he's like, no, don't go to that school. Like,
get out of there.
Yeah, he's like, get out. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm looking for, like, no-gi. I can't find anything. So I just, like, start going to the gym or whatever. And I meet this guy at the gym named Mason. And I'm sitting down doing my, like, they do like an interview when you go to LA Fitness for the first time. I don't know if you've ever done that. They like sit you down, like, what are you looking to do? I'm like, I was like, oh, it's massive, you know, just like making jokes with them because I don't actually care about whatever that is. And I'm like, no, I'm just kind of looking for like a place to work out and seeing how I can find anywhere that, like, do you guys know anywhere that like does like no-gi jiu-jitsu? And then Mason hands me the 10th Planet card for Coach Doel. And
that's awesome. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. And my first class was actually with Ann out of 6. So I came in.
That's awesome.
I came in and did mobility, and she's like, "Why are you so flexible?" Yeah, you know, because for a guy who's like massive, like I shouldn't be able to do a Gramby and touch my feet to my head. You know,
and like honestly, like Ann and I worked at Stretch Zone, so we stretched a ton of people every day. Her and I had the most clients, so like a lot of them are guys, and like I'm sorry, but there's a lot of guys that are not flexible.
No, they don't
all.
do anything.
So like when you see a guy that's flexible, like we had this one client, and he was a purple belt, and he was also he was part of SWAT, and he was just like jacked, but also very flexible, and I was like, holy shit,
that's
like,
the dream. Yeah,
and he was the nicest person too, and so like it's like wait. What? Like, that's not common at all.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's a cool like lethal combination, I guess, is being flexible, strong, and fast. Is like the triad. Yeah. But that's pretty much how I latched on to my jiu-jitsu journey, and then from there I started rolling with guys, and I'm like, I kind of feel like I don't like this is definitely a humble brag, but I feel like I got like a natural talent for it. I'm like kind of good at it, so I'm like, finally I found something that I'm good at, that I enjoy, and I can like make a career out of. So I found kind of like a beeline for my life, and the podcast is a way of facilitating that too. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I never asked, what did you go to college for?
Oh my god. Well, when I first went, well, here, let me like backtrack a little bit. In high school, I took classes for vet assisting.
Okay.
Because I wanted to go to school to be a vet. When I got the scholarship, I was like, okay, well, now I need to find something that they offer because they don't offer that there. So it's pretty much like, if I can get a free education in anything, like, let me pick something that I like, but also like, I just like helping people.
I love that.
Yeah, and like originally though it was supposed to be for animals, which that's like a different story as well. So it's like if I can't help animals, like at least I can try to help people. Like what can I do in that aspect? So I did get my degree, my bachelor's in sports medicine and exercise fitness. I did use it for a little bit. I worked at a place called 9 Rounds, so I was a trainer there. It's like there's 9 stations, they're 3 minutes each, 30 seconds like in between you're doing like an active exercise, but it also implements like kickboxing. So like I was teaching people like how to do round kicks, like how to do certain like movements for like whatever bag at that round, and then also there's like a certain round where you put on like Thai pads or like hand pads and you do sparring with them for like 3 minutes. And so it was like constantly like go, which I loved that. And they're like leaving like lacrosse in college, having that schedule of constantly like being on the go, that's still something that like I'm trying to adjust to, that I have a hard time doing.
The go slow down.
Yeah, because it's like
it's hard.
If you're having like, we would have practice, individual practice, team lifts, like study hall, then you had classes, like, and then if you're working, then you go to work, and then you do it all over again at 6 a.m. and it was constant, like, and then I actually graduated during COVID, so then when all of that just stopped and came to a halt, it was like, fuck do I do now? So like I was constantly like, okay, I need to do something. I like, what I got my degree in, because it's also something like I'm going to be moving, I'm going to be active. So that was another reason why I picked my the degree that I chose, was just so I can stay in that field and industry. And now I'm not even in it. Like at Stretch Zone, like, yeah, you're stretching people, you're helping people as well. I really liked it. And then I was just like, oh my God, I was just like, had a lot going on in life. And I was like, I just need like a change completely. And then now I'm in sales. I don't even use my degree.
That's crazy because you're not the first person I've heard say I went and got a degree that I truly enjoyed, and then I found something else, and I was like, yeah.
Literally,
it's pretty common. So
yeah, and like honestly, like a lot of places they don't even care what your degree's in. It's just like showing that like, hey, I took 4 years to do this and dedicated my time. Also, like on top of it, with the sports where they're like, yeah, we don't care.
Also, your company takes you on skydiving trips. So. I'm not jealous.
Well, honestly, like my boss did not want us to go skydiving. She's like convinced
this is a liability.
Yeah. So like one of the days he had planned, it was like we went on jet skis. We went like this little banana boat thing. We went parasailing and everything.
What?
So he could like convince us not to go skydiving. And we're like, wow, we get to do this, and skydive. And he's like, no, please don't go. And we're like, that's the first stop. And all of us like went there. Like not everybody did it, but I think there was like 5 or 6 of us that did it.
Yeah.
So cool. It was awesome, honestly.
Yeah. I never had the fortune to jump out of an airplane, but I'm kind of also thankful that I've never had the fortune to jump out of an airplane. I'm a little scaredy cat of heights, I'm gonna be honest.
Oh my god, it was so surreal. Like as soon as like when I don't even know how to explain like the feeling. I also love the adrenaline rush too.
Ooh,
so like
okay.
Honestly, like I was like so excited that I was gonna be, like I don't know, like I felt like my heart would be racing or something as soon as I jumped out. But like when we jumped, I felt so free. And like, I don't know, it was just like, no, yeah, literally, like, everything was just like, wow, like I could live in this moment forever. But it happened like so quick as well, where it's like as soon as we landed, I was like, I literally said to my friend Maria came with me. She's one of my roommates that I played lacrosse with in college as well. And her and I were thinking about it, and we're like, well, when we leave the Keys and head back up, like, should we just do it again? And then we're like, no, let's not spend all that money. Like, okay, like, it was fun.
Company
but, like,
funded skydiving twice?
Yeah, I was like, okay, no, we can't do it twice. But it was so cool. Like, I honestly, like, if that's something that you're up for, I would definitely recommend, especially in the Keys.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I mean, if you're going to jump out of a plane, like...
You may as well do it somewhere pretty.
Yeah, like, have a beautiful view on the way down, especially, like... I know I hate to sound this way, but, like, if something does go wrong, it's like...
At least I died somewhere pretty.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Still happy, content, like, everything was so beautiful.
I was pretty all the way to the bottom.
Yeah,
That's
so,
all
like,
I need to
care
know.
less. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely recommend.
Do you have a, so, there's like Jiu-Jitsu place, 10th Planet especially, there's like 10th planets all over the world.
Yeah.
Do you have any ones that particularly you want to visit really bad? Or anywhere at least on your on a vacay bucket list if you could go like anywhere?
Oh my god, I don't know. I feel like I want to go to like a ton of them. Like I don't really have like I want to see more of one. The United States alone has a lot to offer, but like also out of
not
the
middle.
country.
I'm just kidding.
But just like out of the country too. Like there's so much to see. There's so much more to life. That I definitely want to go like wherever I'm traveling to see if there's something nearby. Even if you have to make like half of a day like trip to go out there, like you might as well. One of them that's on my list to go see next though would be like Austin, Texas. Because I want to, that was something that was on my list for this year to at least go to Texas. I really want to, which I don't know, I don't think there is. I need to look it up. I also want to go to Montana as well. I want to go to Colorado.
What's in Montana for you?
The view.
Oh, really? Okay. I don't know anything about Montana or the view, so I can't.
Just pictures and like videos that I've seen. One of my friends got married there. I had some other friends that have moved there as well, and just like, I don't know, like looking up like videos and pictures of it, of just the scenery, it's like, oh my god, that looks so peaceful and just so surreal. Like, I've lived in Florida my whole life, and don't get me wrong, like, it is nice.
It's
here,
pretty.
But, like, you're used to like palm trees and green grass and the beach like all year round.
Yeah.
And the weather barely changes; it gets hotter. What the
all
cold
the time
front here? I know I'm wearing a hoodie, but it's like
that's crazy.
I'm not cold. I'm just comfortable.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like the weather barely changes here. Everything's like the same, where it's like I want to see something different. I want to explore something different. I want to see like, you know, the different energy, the different vibes at different locations as well. So I think that would be cool just to, I don't really have like certain ones in particular. I do know like I want to go see Texas just in general.
Yeah.
So it's like might as well go to Austin and see that location. But other than that, like there's so many places where it's just like if I look one up and it's nearby, I would definitely plan like a day to go drive out there and go check it out and just see how it is.
I feel like you've been to California, you said. I feel like
Vegas.
Vegas. Yeah. I feel like California, you can't run out of things to do. I lived in California for 4 years. I never did any of the cool stuff. Because I was in the desert. So like everything was a 2.5 hour drive away. And, you know, like what's the chance that you get to make those trips? Like if you're going to get 3 days off, you're going to go see your family, right? Yeah. So I'm not going to travel on my weekends off to go to like, you know, Big Bear. But there's so much to do in California. I feel like you'd love California.
That would be cool. I don't like, I know it's like expensive to live there as well, but honestly, like it's expensive to live here too.
Florida's getting really bad.
Yeah. But I think it would be cool to like at least go there for like a year and like check it out and stuff. I don't know, like maybe just even like a week just to explore it and see like how the vibes are out there as well. I wouldn't be against it. I don't know if I could actually like move out that way.
No, not move, just but like visit. Like you could visit there all the time. Like you could go there multiple times in your life.
I think that would be cool.
I think one place that you'd really like, and I always recommend this to people, but I think you'd really like Japan.
Oh my God! Yes, yes, that would be so cool.
I've been there twice.
Really? Yeah. How did you like it?
I went to Okinawa, so that's very Americanized. But I also went to Fuji, which is not very Americanized. And Fuji, it's like, I always describe it to people as like, when you walk down the street, you don't realize the difference in air quality until you're in a place where everybody has a garden. And that's what Fuji is. And you walk down the street and it just smells like flowers. You're like, what the hell? And everything is beautiful everywhere. And you could like not take a wrong turn and be somewhere, you know, nasty. They have like vending machines on the streets. Like it's really cool. Everybody's very kind, with an exception of like people who like really don't like Americans, but those are like the older people. So by the time you go, you're not even gonna see anybody there that's like that. But no, I think you'd really, really like Japan. And there's a few locations I've always wanted to visit there, which is Osaka, which is like really like an older kind of Japan, and Kyoto, which is apparently supposed to be like one of the most beautiful places in the world. But yeah, that's on the top of my bucket list, at least for visitations.
Do you have like a certain time period or time frame that you'd like to get out there?
I know Izzy wants to go to Tokyo, and he wants to go soon. So we're like I'm kind of thinking I'm gonna tag along with him.
Yeah.
Because I need to go again when I'm not in the military.
Yeah.
You know, because I went when I was
in. Get a different experience.
Yes. Well, I loved it regardless. But there were people out there that just hated it, and I was like, you guys just don't do anything, and you're all like disrespectful, just like.
Yeah, and like being around like that energy sometimes too. It's just kind of like.
Yeah.
Okay, like a little bit of a drag as well. So yeah, like being with people that, you know, like truly want to like
be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Have that experience. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah. I think I talked about it with you in class yesterday, how like Jiu-Jitsu is kind of my like meditation for me, and like it's like how I like relax and kind of like religious for me. Do you have anything like that in your life besides Jiu-Jitsu, or like do you meditate, or are you religious, or
well, I would say like now especially, yes. Just based off of like things that I've dealt with like in the past, like growing up, I felt like I dealt with some things when I was younger, like with my mom and whatnot, that like obviously shapes like who you are now, and like, you know, yeah, I don't know how to explain it.
Okay.
So yeah, like I can tell, like I let my emotions get the best of me. And when I say that, I mean like anger, and that's also something that I've worked so hard on, just like for years, like it took me like a long time to realize like you can only make yourself mad. Nobody can hold you down and tell you like to get mad, to like you need to, like, you know, you can't say like, or I can't say like you made me mad. Like, no, I allowed you to alter my emotions to get mad.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, that's my choice, that's my decision. Taking that step back to just like think and breathe about that before going based off of those. So like for jiu-jitsu, like it's helped a ton, which I definitely like, it still happens, like especially like, you know, Devin will say all the time, like I can tell like you're angry, just breathe, just relax, because like I might get annoyed that I'm just like constantly like in my head I feel like I'm not doing it correctly, or I'm like fucking up, like I'm trying to get, I guess like,
it sounds like more frequently you get mad at yourself rather than mad at others.
Yeah. And then that's when I realized, as soon as I let that happen and I let the emotions get involved, that's when I start to lose my technique and like just my train of thought. So like just to let go and to just move like freely, that's when I realized like, okay, if I just relax, just breathe, like everything comes natural. So like also like with competing as well, like I obviously like know you're going against other people like when you're competing, but like I also feel like in a way like I'm going against myself if I allow myself. Yeah,
I like that.
like,
yeah,
because if I allow myself like my emotions to get the best of me, like I'm not thinking straight, I'm not thinking clearly. Like, so for an example, for like not getting those subs, like I'm thinking of constantly, well, what if she does this, like I need to have one step ahead of her, rather than like what we do in the dojo all the time. Just like go with it. Like,
yeah,
it's a game of chess, like kind of like what Doel and Ann say all the time. Like they literally say jiu-jitsu is like chess with the body.
Yeah.
And like it's so true. And like when you actually just take that time to like let go of all of those thoughts and just everything from the day or from the week, whatever's going on with your life, and just focus in the moment right then and there, it's just, it all comes natural and it's smooth and it's, I don't know,
it's pleasant.
Flows.
It's nice to do.
It's just, it's nice and it's peaceful, and afterwards it's like, like, okay, like, I needed that. Like honestly, like, so from going to just like a couple days a week for like an hour to like, you know, for until like live training's done and it's like 10 o'clock. And I'm like, wow, like that was so nice, so free.
Yeah. And then you get to like bullshit after too, which is awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I used to meditate. I haven't been doing that recently. In the past like couple years, I haven't been, which I need to get back to that again too. I felt like that helped a lot. But yeah, no, jiu-jitsu's helped like a ton. I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah, it's really
like,
good for mental health.
Yeah.
I think everybody should do like a martial art or a sport. I think it's important to like keep your physical health in a like top tier state, because it really helps with your mental.
Yes.
It's all about like that serotonin release. I'm sure there's like some crazy science behind it, but it's pretty interesting. There's some crazy quotes in like The Art of War or something. It talks about I'm gonna butcher this quote, but it says like save your emotions for your enemy or something like that, something along those lines. Which is, it sounds like what it's saying is like let your emotions out on your enemy, but the reality of what it's saying is allow your enemy to have emotions, and like you don't. So it's always a pretty cool quote for me to sit and think back on when I'm like, if I ever feel like I'm getting angry, which I don't know. From the Marine Corps, thankfully, I have the ability to like, I just turn it all off in a match. I don't have anything because I have the little switch. You flip the switch in your brain. You're like, all right, no emotions. I'm just gonna hurt you. Like that's it. So that's for comp though. I don't ever use that in class. But yeah, yesterday I get a little frustrated when we were rolling, because we were like, if you had me on topside pin really good, and I just flexibility, and you were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was like.
Yeah. But don't worry.
So only like a couple seconds.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Don't worry, because it happened to Armani, who's 25, 30 pounds heavier than me. So it's not just you that it happens to, right? That's hard to like. But every time, coach wouldn't let me roll with girls for a long time because of how I came into jiu-jitsu, which is like, I'm violent and need to use violence. And that's not nice to do to girls, right? So thankfully I've gotten like used to using the body I've been given, because I wasn't good at that. I was just like, I don't know how much I weigh and how to use that. And now I do, so I can control how much I'm using. And I feel like that helped my jiu-jitsu a lot. But I have some good news. It's our final segment.
Oh, wow. Already?
Yeah. So this segment...
Like really fast.
I told you. I told you it would. So this is called Gift Wrap, so you got to put your mic down. Okay. This segment is called Gift Wrap. So what we do is I have a little surprise for you. Okay. Here you go. It's a super cool Hawaiian shirt.
Oh, cool! Oh my god!
All of my podcast guests gets a final. That's gonna be super big on you. It's an XL.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I literally like when I'm not in the dojo and stuff. I swear I dress like I'm Adam Sandler. I have, like, big ass hoodies on and big ass freaking sweatpants.
Yeah. If you never wear it, it's not gonna hurt my feelings. I just love giving out gifts at the end of the podcast. So
thank you.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yep. It was lovely having you.
Thank you for having me.
You're absolutely welcome.
Really cool.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you spread it around a little bit. And thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. And I hope that all of you... Yeah, actually, do you have any closing things to say? Anything else you'd like to say? Before I wrap it up.
No, not really.
All right, well, that's it's simple for me. So all of you have a fantastic day and a great evening and a great life. And